In Algebra 1, section 9.4, we're dealing with graphing quadratic equations. So now, instead of solving them, we're going to be graphing them. But it's also another way of solving. You see, whenever I have this and this point right here, this is the solution to my quadratic equation. So if I can graph it and find these 2 points, then I can find the equation without doing all the math. But the problem is, I have to first be able to graph it. So in order to graph the quadratic function, this is called a parabola, this U-shaped graph. Okay? That x squared means that it's going to hit my x twice. And this right here in the middle, where it goes down and then it starts going up again, that's called the vertex. Okay? My first step is to first find the x coordinate. Here's the equation that you want to memorize. Once I find this x, okay, and how do I find this x? Well, they're going to give me an equation. The number in front of the x squared is a, the number in front of the x is b, and then c is right here. I don't know why that's a 0. Okay, so I'm going to take b and plug it in, and a and plug it in. Whatever that is, that's going to be my x. Okay, once I find my x, I can plug that into my equation on these x's, then find my y, and I'll have my vertex. So that's the mathematical part. Then I'm going to make a table of values using this as my center. So I'm going to choose numbers here, I'm going to choose numbers here, so that I can find out where I'm going to draw my U. Then I'm going to plot the points and then graph. Alright? So let's try it. Go ahead and write this down. Don't forget your vocabulary. So you should have the steps written down, so we're going to go ahead and try to go through this step process with this example. So our first step, okay, is to find the vertex. So I'm supposed to first find the x. Remember, the vertex is x comma y. I find the x using the equation negative b over 2a. This is my b, and the number in front of the x, which because there's no number, I'm going to assume it's 1. This is my a. So I'm going to fill it in. Negative 2 over 2 times 1 gives me negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. Okay, because 2 over 2 is 1, and that negative carries on. So I have the x, so this is negative 1. Now I need to find the y. And I find the y by taking this and plugging into my x's. So y equals negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 minus 5. So I have negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1, plus 2 times negative 1, which is 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and then minus 5. Okay, so 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Minus 5 gives me negative 6. So my vertex is negative 1, negative 6. So that means negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my vertex. Okay? So my second one is to create a table. Now, I've already found this is my x and this is my y. My equation x squared plus 2x minus 5. Now I've already found my middle number, which is negative 1, and the y is negative 6. So now I'm going to find 2 numbers before it and 2 numbers after it. Okay? So let's do negative 2 and negative 3, and let's do 0 and 1. So negative 3 squared plus 2 times negative 3 minus 5. Negative 3 squared is 9, plus negative 6. So 9 minus 6 is 3, minus 5 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 minus 5. Negative 2 squared is, well, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 minus 4, which is 0. So this is negative 5. 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 5. This is 0 plus 0. So I end up with minus 5. And then 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 5. 1 squared is 1. Plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So then I have 2 before it and 2 after it. So I should be able to get my u. So my third step is to actually graph it. Okay? So I'm going to start with negative 3. 1, 2, 3, negative 2. Negative 2, negative 5. And negative 5. Yeah. 0, negative 5. And 1, negative 2. Okay, so it doesn't look the best because you're going to probably do this on graph paper, but you get the point. It has a loop, and these two is our solution right here, where it hits the x-axis. That's how we solve for the problem, but you're not always going to get a whole number. So make sure that you go ahead and try this, but if it doesn't have the exact, that's fine. When we do it in class, you'll have graph paper, so you'll have more of an exact answer. Go ahead and write this down and try page 523, number 12, 523, number 12, and I'll see you in class.